A lot of guys fail to lose weight because they are too afraid to be hungry. I find it quite funny actually because now thinking about it, a community that's so focused on grind, you know, just pushing heavy weight, discipline, is usually very afraid of getting hungry. And that's something that stops most people, I guess, from losing weight. It was only after I accepted the fact that I was going to be hungry that it's going to suck that I actually started losing weight. And over the past year, I've lost around 30 pounds with fasting. And I decided to go with fasting specifically because for me, that was the most aggressive thing that I could possibly imagine. And I was desperate for results because my whole life I tried everything that I could possibly imagine that I could never actually lose the weight. So here I want to do an exact breakdown of everything that I did to lose that weight and to still keep losing weight even though getting closer to my actual dream objective, my dream physique. Okay, so first of all, right, why fasting? Because I think fasting is the perfect model for your average person that doesn't want to spend too much time dealing with fitness, doesn't want to think too much about what they're eating, and still wants to be able to enjoy life, especially enjoy their 20s. I am 23 right now, and I never liked the idea of sacrificing my social life because social life, especially after all of us that lived through the pandemic, we all know how important being surrounded by people is and how bad isolation is for you. This whole idea of the lonely chapter, this whole idea of the lone grind, the monk mode, I think that was in big part a cope. I think that was in big part a cope to deal with loneliness. It's like, no, no, I'm not lonely and have no friends. I'm just in monk mode. I'm just focusing on my productivity, my business, and myself. I think that's a big cop out of having to actually deal with the fact that we need friends, we need people around us. So I don't want people sacrificing their social life. I didn't want to sacrifice my social life to, meal prep and do all those things. And I also hated meal prepping, and I also hated something that really used to piss me off when I was trying to do the meal prepping and the diets and shit is eating and then being hungry like right after eating. That's something that always pissed me off. So it's like, well, if I'm gonna eat and get hungry again any fucking ways, I might as well just get hungry from the beginning. I might as well just choose something that is going to just leave me hungry all the time. And that was fasting, right? It's the most aggressive thing that I could possibly imagine. And instead of doing the way that people normally do, the like 16-hour fast and 8-hour eating, so just like skipping breakfast or some shit, I decided to do 24 hours, right? So I would only eat once a day, 5 days a week, right? On the weekend, I would have more food for a lot of reasons that I don't know if I'm going to explain in this video because I want it to be a quicker, to the point video. But that's pretty much it. So 5 days a week, I will eat a meal, and that meal is pretty much whatever the fuck I want it to. Usually pizza or pasta, and I make my own pizza with protein and shit, and I make my pasta with protein. But it's not like a low carb. It's not keto. It's not carnivore. It's nothing fancy. It's just whatever I wanted to eat. That was also cheap and is also convenient to make. This way I can my routine. First of all, I have so much free time to do my own stuff because I don't have to think about eating, cooking, cleaning, buying, and all that bullshit that does add to your day-to-day time that you could be doing something more interesting. And it also adds the possibility of adventure. What I mean by that is that if a friend of mine comes to me and goes, Gabriel, tomorrow we are going, I want to go tomorrow, grab a pint in the middle of the week. Oh, tomorrow I want to go on like whatever this new restaurant that opened up. I can be like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. I can do those last minute things. I can shift things around because why? I only have one meal to think about. Oh, it's a trip and it's gonna be a very long layover and it's like airport food is so expensive. It's like just don't eat it. I can just not eat it. That's something that you learn. You learn you're a lot more resilient and you don't actually need to be feeding yourself all the fucking time because your muscles not going to melt. You're you're not going to die. nothing's gonna happen. You're just gonna keep going with it. So once you embrace that idea that is like, well, this is going to really be, this is going to suck anyways. Like you're losing body weight, you're losing mass. Your body doesn't want to lose mass. Your body doesn't want to lose body weight. So when you lose it, it's going to suck. So if you have that understanding, for me at least, the most logical thing you can do is to go for the most aggressive thing possible. Because the possibilities that it opens are just so big that there's no reason not to do it, right? So that's exactly what I did. And to get to that point, I started by first cutting out one of my meals, which was lunch. I stopped eating lunch because I didn't like it. Then I cut breakfast, and then I cut all snacks or coffees or whatever that was in the middle. So it was a transition process. It wasn't fully cold turkey of me just going into one meal a day, right? And there's no right and wrong way of getting there. Here's the thing. And there's no set days that you have to do it. So let's say you just want to do it 2-3 times a week. Man, that's fantastic as well. You're going to get results, considering you're not just like stuffing your face into the oblivion and into the other days that you're not fasting. But there's no rules and there's no correct way of getting there and transitioning to there. I just have very systematized the way that I did it because it makes a lot of sense. It's a very logical way of doing it, right? So if you want to follow what I'm saying, maybe that might work for you as well. If you tried everything else and nothing worked, just like it was my case, that might work as well. Now, when it comes to working out, it's very important that you keep doing it. That you don't stop working out, because that's going to make sure you don't lose your muscles. Also going to make sure you feel good about yourself, and also going to make sure that you're not that you're still mentally sane and physically athletic and healthy throughout the whole process. So, but again, you don't have to feel like and to follow a push-pull legs bodybuilder split that is scientifically based, optimized, whatever. You can just do calisthenics, just do kettlebell circuits. I like calisthenics. I particularly like the basics, right? The dips, pull-ups, push-ups, squats. Just do a fuck ton of them, and that's preferentially do them outdoors. Go outside, go to the park, take some sunlight, work out. Then if you go to the gym, I have one day a week that I go to the gym and I hit arms and shoulders because those are a little bit harder to train with calisthenics, but that's pretty much it. There's nothing fancy. There's nothing. I don't spend too much time in the gym. I don't track anything. I don't care about the amount of protein that I do. The only thing I track is my own body weight every morning or every day, whatever. Every day I track my own body weight just to make sure that I'm still on the path of losing weight. It's really simple. Like if you're scaling yourself, if you're on the scale every day and the weight's not going down, you're eating too much, and you're not in a calorie deficit. If you go on the scale every day and you're losing weight, you're doing it right, and you keep doing that. It's very simple. People try to overcomplicate this shit. Don't overcomplicate this shit. Keep it simple, okay? That's it. If you want to see my full system, everything I do, all the workouts, all the details of how to transition and visuals and whatever, what to eat, what not to eat, what not, link in the description. All right, my school community is free. I'll see you guys there. Cheers.